Shakespeare is a great challenge to listen to, and also some of the best entertainment there is available as theatre if you know how to listen to it. If you've got your ears are tuned in to what the actors are saying, then it becomes profoundly funny, insightful, witty, and everything. He covers the whole spectrum of communication and every aspect of it. Plus, the acting is good and entertaining. But many people might find it difficult to access Shakespeare through their ears, because this is where the problem is. How people are not taught to listen, or haven't learned to listen, or tune their hearing and their audio cognizance, if you like. So that he then naturally and easily listens to a presentation of a Shakespearean play, and then grasps and able to listen to it all the way through and enjoy it, because it's extremely enjoyable. And not only that, it's a slight challenge, and because it's a slight challenge, it's also a beneficial. You get through it, and yet it's sort of memorable, but it's also reinforcing your own learning abilities. So there's something about listening to Shakespeare, or watching Shakespeare as well, that is extremely valuable for the individual, no matter who they are. So, excuse me. So how do you? There is a way of. Sorry, I'm interfering with myself. There is a way of listening to Shakespeare, or learning to listen to Shakespeare, which I suggest anyone wanting to. Oh, it's difficult. No, there you have to overcome the difficulty, which is in listening. Learn to listen. Now, it's a good idea to go into Shakespeare if you've never heard it before, but you want to enjoy it. What is that? How can I enjoy it? Go into it like a baby, like you are a baby. You can't quite tell what they're saying, which is easy to understand. Why? Because they're using language the English language in a totally different manner. Although it's a very simple use of the English language at that time, because at that time English had been totally developed in a way, become the standard language of the English people after taken off from the French, and they developed this very elaborate way of speaking at Oxford and Cambridge and places like that. That's why that is presented in Shakespearean theatre. It was a way that people try to outwit each other, sound clever to each other, and all that. And this is what Shakespearean theatre does, in a way. It tries to show how clever people can speak in English, and how witty and clever they are at court. Now, so how do you get access to it? It's very simple. If you really are determined to overcome the barriers that get you into access to Shakespeare, it's easy. Listen to a play. You don't have to watch a play. You can listen to a play on radio, podcast, or YouTube, anything. And you can, when you get, the first time you get to, and it all depends, of course, pick the actor that articulates and enunciates more clearly. Then, some Shakespeare's actors aren't maybe as good as their reputation says they should be, because you can't quite hear the enunciation of the words, and that is a problem. That can be a problem in itself. So look for the best Shakespearean plays by Laurence Olivier and people like that. They're very, very particular about enunciation. Kenneth Branagh and a few others, they're very, very particular about enunciation and pronunciation of words. So that's important, that you choose your Shakespeare, which gives you easy access. And King Henry V, which Laurence Olivier starred in, or Hamlet 1948, black and white one, is absolutely beautiful. Fabulous bit of entertainment. Anyone can enjoy that, no matter who you are or how old you are. It's good entertainment. But when you get to a point, when you're listening to this, now if you're intent to learn how to listen to Shakespeare, which then may give you a far greater ability to listen to everything you hear, but it gives you clarity of your mind about more and more things than you can imagine, not just Shakespeare. You listen until you can't understand, say, the first sentence, for instance. You'll hear it, I don't know what it means. You stop the sentence, you stop the play, you go back to the beginning, and you listen to it. You can slow it down if you like, but you can listen to it again, over and over again till you get the first, till you understand the very first phrase or sentence or whatever, or a word you don't understand. What does it mean? Write it down, check it up on the net, you'll find out what it meant, or roundabouts what it meant. Words have evolved over time, so they have different meanings, but some of them have the same meanings in Shakespeare's around as they have now, so you can actually discover, well, then put sentences into context, or phrases into context, or scenes into context. Once you've done that, once you've gone to do your first sentence or whatever, paragraph or whatever, you go back to the beginning and keep listening till that you totally get that. Keep listening. She says, okay, I now, bang, I totally, yeah, I get that. Then go, this don't sound tedious and tiring, but economically wise, time wise, it's the fastest possible way to learn, to overcome a listening barrier to almost anything. It's a very important thing to understand. And people have missed out in education into listening, which is a primary part of informing ourselves of what's actually going on. So you can go back to the beginning again, tedious as it is, keep going forward till you come to the next part, what's an impediment to your enjoyment to the Shakespearean theatre, and go back again until you get that next sentence. Then go back to the beginning, and it might seem all sorts of, this is really tedious, but no. This is clearing up your mind. This is allowing you then access to Shakespeare, and not just Shakespeare, but all sorts of diffuse information coming through the media. You'll then maybe wake up to that as well. And so you can make up your own mind better this way about what you're hearing, right? What does it actually mean? But this is not just about listening to Shakespeare, it's about listening in general and learning to do that. But Shakespeare, by overcoming one barrier, that is overcoming how to hear and understand and enjoy Shakespeare by learning to listen to it, this simple method by reiteration and reinforcing the learning, it improves your cognition naturally. It's natural stimulation and improvement of your cognition. And by the end, say you got to the end of a Shakespearean play, which might sound very, very tedious but to do this way, but at the end of it, then you can play the play from the beginning to the end and say, that's easy, I understand all of it. And all Shakespearean plays from then on should be, providing the actors speak clearly, should be easy to understand. And you'll find not just this, it'll improve your whole of your life experience through Shakespeare.